All right, we have to transition and do our relationship segment, and we're talking DIAM, Mama.
Yes, DIAM. That's the segment where we encourage you. You know, we all have relationship issues, and we can't deal with it by ourselves. So we encourage you, if you've got any issues at all, you can write to us at info@myjoyonline.com. That's the email address where you can send a personal relationship challenge that you have. And we're just going to put it on the table like we've done in the past couple of weeks. Every Friday here on the show, we get a professional to help you with it, but we also allow everybody else watching us to get in with their say. And we've had some very incredible contributions in the past weeks. So today we have a letter, and we want to play back to you that letter, as we always do, and then we'll begin the conversation. So here we go with the letter that we received.
Dear AM, I am married. I got married 2 years ago. I love my husband so much. We have a 1.5-year-old son. Dear AM, before marriage, I was a carefree girl. I used what I had to get what I wanted. To be honest, I am intelligent, but I am also striking or beautiful comparably. During my national service after uni, I got to know that big men at the bank I worked at stared at me many times, very lustfully too. I also joined in a bit, not too many times. We traveled for workshops, auditing trips, even 3 times outside Ghana. Dear AM, in short, I had a relationship with his middle-level manager. Back then, he had just gotten married. I was also a newly employed girl after national service. He gave me everything. Things continued. He had 3 kids over the years, and now 7 years later, I am also married and he still wants to continue a relationship. Before my marriage, we broke up. However, he started making approaches soon after he was appointed managing director. And as managing director, he controls everything and he also keeps harassing me. Sincerely, I am into my husband. I love him. My MD will have none of it. Dear AM, I don't know what to do. Counsel me. Worried Sylvia Obuase.
Oh, Sylvia, thank you very much for the letter that you've written. I'm not sure I have anything extensive to say, except to say, get out of that place.
You
That's
mean
all.
the workplace?
Yeah.
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 Ask for a transfer.
Initially, I was thinking, ask for transfer. Is it the same managing director who's going to transfer you? I mean, he controls everything. I was thinking, okay, find another job, but that could take a while. So get out. But I don't know if that's going to be, a huge, how do I put it, burden on your husband. I don't know, but you have to get out. That's what I can say.
Well, okay, so I will take it from 3 perspectives.
Okay.
And I know that many people tend to go through, many of us tend to go through some of these, the beginning aspect of life and trying to go through the exploratory phases. And she also just went through as a normal person and trying to see whether she can go through relationships and have some experiences. That's how I will classify her first section of life, making entry into the office as a service person. And then over time, she got into her own, because as human beings, you tend to build confidence and try to find yourself in a perspective. And I think that she's found herself in a perspective. She says that this is not what I want, and I'm making a decision, and I'm having a relationship. And she's telling us through this letter that I came to the gentleman and said, look, you and I have been through this for a long time, but I found somebody else. There seemed to have been some agreement or consensus at that point. How they transition to this point where the gentleman is now almost like stalking or harassing her, I think is unbelievable. Even though...
It is believable to me.
Yeah, even though it is not unusual. The thing is, I don't think she has to leave the workplace. She has to stand her ground and make an intervention. Let somebody intervene in this.
Who, the board?
Not the board. Because I think she wouldn't have been undertaking this relationship without colleagues not knowing. Because if you look at Sylvia, this is a relationship or an environment she's very much used to, for which nobody would have been oblivious of their relationship.
But if you were dating a married man, because boss, even when he was,
Yeah.
when Sylvia was dating
so my
him,
point is,
he was married. I'm not sure it would be a public matter that other people would know.
yes.
Even if they did, it would be just the rumors. And I'm not sure she would have
It is not a public
it.
matter. What definitely I'm saying is there will be one or two who are either friends to him and to you, who he may respect, and for which you need to confine in for them to intervene for you. Because this is not the time.
To talk to him so he can stop harassing you.
Yes, because it is not as safe that they still have a relationship. If they had a relationship ongoing, they had agreed based on consensus that, look, I want to keep my marriage or go and marry and then keep the relation. That's another thing. This time they had agreed to stop. So this time I am taking it, it's almost like it's fresh harassment. Fresh harassment.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, if somebody is harassing me, okay, of course I'm not a woman, but if somebody was harassing me and I don't want to stop the work, if I love the work, there's no way I'm going to leave.
Okay, so here's the thing. Sylvia terms what is happening as harassment, but I want to go beyond that and say this. What if he's genuinely into her because, you know, they had
the managing director.
Yes, they had a relationship. They had a relationship for a while, even when he was married. So this is somebody that, from his point of view, he would also say he's into. And he feels, when I was married, we were still doing this. You're married, this shouldn't stop us from still doing this. And I like you. I mean, we can do it. So for him, he's not thinking about it as harassment. It's just somebody that he's into, that, you know, he's chasing again or trying to, because, and I guess some people also want to believe that once you loved me and we did so much together, I don't think it's gone. He wants to revive it.
Well, that's true.
So it may not be to him harassment.
Well,
it just may be showing and trying to get him to appreciate where he's coming from.
Well, that's true. But then I did a recall of history of Sylvia. Sylvia entered at a stage of vulnerability in her life, and then also took chances and say, look, it looks like my stage of vulnerability coincides with a situation where I can also exploit. And so she exploited a situation. Now I am saying, even though both of us were into each other, I've become somebody of my own. And I believe that both of them have a right to indicate that I feel I want to go onto this path. Yes, the manager can decide to have that feeling, but it's a feeling now. It's not more like because of those past experiences you can put it together.
It's not a mutual thing.
Yes. Now even you have even put it better or in a good perspective. It's not mutual.
I'm just wondering who Sylvia could go to get them to talk to him when he is the boss.
And seriously, we all have worked with people that we have crushes on. You admire this person, but the discipline that we all need to have is not to go to the next step. You have.
Except that this is somebody you've gone to the next step with.
Yes.
And you've pulled out.
Exactly.
So there is a history.
Exactly my point. There's a history, but we all agreed at a certain point in time to have a case closed. And
so you think she shouldn't go? She shouldn't leave?
No, she shouldn't leave.
I say she should leave.
Get a new job. I am thinking the lawyers that she needs to hire are one or two others who respect the
lawyers.
Oh, well, I mean...
okay. Also, so people to step
to
in.
intervene,
Okay.
yes.
I thought, okay. All right. Well, listen, that's just what we're thinking, but, you know, we're not professionals when it comes to this area. So we've called up Auntie Flora Saki, who is a counselor. She's read through Sylvia's letter, and she would help us with the way forward. Auntie Flora, good morning to you. I hope you're well.
Good morning. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. And how are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. So we've just added our little minds to this big issue. You can handle it way better than we can. So what do you think of this letter?
Yeah, I think wrong is wrong. You know, if you are married and somebody else is married and you have an illicit relationship with that person, we call that adultery. In fact, double adultery because both are married. and she should stand her ground and say no, because I think that there are so many laws governing life that I told a group of young people some years ago that some laws are not written in the sky for you to read them, but they are at work. We know in life that whatever you sow, you reap. So if she goes into this thing and that is wrong, she's sowing a bad seed for her own marriage. Now it may even continue generations after her. Sometimes your children, grandchildren will go through some issues because of what you did wrong. And if she's had a sexual relationship with this man, the sex is something far more than physical. It's emotional, psychological, and even spiritual. Now, when two people go to bed, they exchange what we call deposits. And these deposits remain in you, and it's like a bank account. Once now and again, that deposit will go, pop up in your life. So because they've had this relationship, that thing is there. So the man feels that he has something in here that he can claim. And, the guns have this expression, like momo, so they have this exchange that's in them. And that's why when you have an illicit relationship with somebody, or you dated somebody years before, the moment you see this person, because of that deposit, there's that fresh renewal of, feelings for each other. But it is wrong, and one day it will cost it. Some of these things, they cost you in other areas of life. You may have difficulties, and you will not understand why, because every illicit relationship brings a curse on you. And so for her, the sake of her own future, happiness, she should stop it. And then so that it doesn't even affect her children, because adultery is wrong, and we pay for it. And then the guilt will also affect her peace, her relationship, her relationship with God, if she has any. Or the fact that you are doing something wrong will afflict your conscience, and it will disturb your peace. Women, we are emotional, and these things affect us more than a woman cannot have a sexual relationship with somebody and forget, unless, of course, God forbid that she's selling her body on the street. That's something different. But if you're a decent woman and you have this wrong relationship, it will afflict your conscience. You'll not be at peace. And so, as I heard somebody say that she can leave the office, I'm not sure she can have a job that can give her the same financial standing. But if it will be, if she can get somewhere else where she can enjoy the same salary or something similar, is good. But she should avoid it at all costs. It may not be easy, it may not be pleasant, but for the future, it will be better than now.
Okay. So, Roland was suggesting get some people so they can talk to him to back down. What do you make of that suggestion?
Men will be, the man probably will be resentful that you've exposed him. And if you are working directly under him, he may victimize you for it. So I think she can settle it between the two of them. And then if he insists on, putting pressure on her, she can, threaten that she will expose him. But I'm not sure he will like it if somebody else, especially if the person is working in the same, workplace, that he will like it. And he may victimize her for it in the future.
Okay. So what if, I'm just thinking, because if they were going out, they probably would have met other friends, not necessarily within the same office, but she may have been exposed to one or two of his personal friends.
I'm not sure if there's something, if that possibility is there, she can try it, but I'm not sure. Normally, a man will see that as exposing him, and he may victimize and not like it. So if she avoids him, because they have that relationship in the past, it's probably easy for him to call her or not, contact her, fix a date for the time for them to meet somewhere and all that. If she ignores that, maybe not, respond to him on the phone. Now, the problem these days is the phone too. Once you can connect with somebody on the phone, it makes it easy for these days. So he should ignore his phone calls or text messages and all that. And then as much as possible, avoid seeing him or meeting him in the workplace. But if it's such that he frustrates her and she can get somewhere better, then she can leave.
Okay. Roland, Auntie Flora is on.
Now, the point of getting maybe a colleague or somebody that is mutual to them is the fact that if you look at the history of this lady, she made entry into the organization right after service. So I am thinking they couldn't have carried this on secretly without maybe a gentleman's work pal or friend not knowing, etc. So it's in that perspective, yes.
Yeah, it is true. Especially with a lady, maybe a close friend, but some ladies are very secretive. You will never know. If it carried on for quite a long time, maybe somebody who works with them or who is the same space may have sensed it, even that they will deny. But whatever it takes to stop it, I think she should. It may not be a pleasant or easy thing to do, but it will cost far more than yielding to that kind of pressure. Because later, it will affect, your, it will affect reputation and, that what if the man's wife also gets to know or her own husband also gets to know. So it will bring confusion in both families. And personally, I think that the cost will be far more when she yields to succumbs to this kind of pressure than when she moves out of it. It's something that she will have to fight out maybe cause it might cause some skirmishes, in the present, but it will be a safeguard for the future, which I think her children may even, inherit and create problems in their own life.
You said the children will inherit what?
I mean, the problems that she will create now.
Auntie Flora, I want to ask you about this last thing. Her husband, so Sylvia's husband.
Yes.
Once you talk about the phone, there's a possibility that if there's communication happening, he might get to know. So how does he come into this? Should she mention it to him?
This is a delicate thing. Sometimes when you mention, you're sincerely genuine, you want him to know your struggles or what has gone on in the past before, and the person cannot manage it. It becomes, something that a weapon that he will use now and again probably will, raise it up again, especially if you have a working relationship with the person. Let's say you're working in a space with somebody and your husband or your wife knows that there has been that relationship with you. And maybe for genuine reasons, you have a meeting that may last probably far longer than the working hours. And you tell, we have a meeting and I'll come home at 9 p.m. And the man knows that this past, relationship is there in the meeting. You have problems. You either, fight you or be suspicious or be, what do you call it? You'll be not easy. You will not be at peace because he knows that you are in a meeting with somebody you've dated before, and it creates conflict at home between them. When you see that this person has been a former an ex, and the person is closely working with you, and maybe you have to even travel out. Sometimes you travel to another place where you spend some days, the weekend or so, and the other person knows that. Even the man's wife, probably, you never know what the man's wife knows. Sometimes they know what's happening at the office space. You know that this lady there has been in a relationship with my husband before. Now they are traveling out, sometimes outside the country, sometimes somewhere outside the city. You have a meeting and they stay in a hotel for a weekend or whatever. And the other person, the other spouses may not be at peace at all because they know this relationship is there. And you as the guns say, like Momo, once there's this, you meet the person again, you have had that relationship before, anything can spark off fresh fire in both of them, and then it will create problems later for their marriages.
Auntie Florence, you're a guy.
Not really. I'm a mountain girl, but I was born and raised in Accra. So I think I speak Ghana more than my own dialect.
Okay. Because you kept mentioning like Momo. That one washing the wall.
I come from a bream. My middle name is Anof.
Okay, all right.
Auntie Flora, we thank you for your time today. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you for the intervention.
Yeah, thank you too.
Right. So that's our counselor for today. He has some messages on WhatsApp. You too can send me a regular text message using the same line or a WhatsApp message. So this one says, Worried Sylvia, please try and record. Kindly do not call the line, otherwise you just interrupt the reading of the messages and we can't pick your calls on this one. You can call us on our regular phone numbers. All right, so this one says, Worried Sylvia, please try and record him as an evidence, okay, and ask for transfer from him. And if he refuses, then you use that evidence against him. So record. So that's a suggestion. You're shaking your head.
No,
record him, and then ask for the transfer.
Use that as blackmail.
It
can bounce.
If he refuses to give you,
bad.
then you can use it to blackmail. Yeah, exactly, because you're also involved. So if there are some people expose him, you expose.
There are some people who are emotionally crazy, and you know.
See, that's why I say if the person really is into you and he thinks he's in love with you, you know. Okay, this one says, I guess his boss too was married as a time she was dating him. The law of karma. Okay, Joe from Inchi. This is not the kind of messages, you know, that we want. Yeah, she did it. It's happened. And so what? She's where she is, and we want to move on from there. So unless you want to look forward ahead with us, I wouldn't read, you know, it came back to bite you and blah, 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 blah. Like we're saying, we're not saint. This one says, I'm Emmanuel. I have 2 submissions to make. She should try to get a recording proof that her MD is harassing her. She should tell her husband about it so both can decide what to do. 3, quit the job. Trust God for another one. Okay. Fella in Japan, Good morning.
Good morning, Marie.
Oh, you're good, fella?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to Sylvia.
Yeah. Sister Sylvia should open up and tell her husband.
Hey,
Maza. Relationship.
Fella. Talk to fella.
When she wants to take a step right now, and later on, the man got to know about what she's sleeping in all lies to her husband. So she need to open up to her husband first about what is going on.
Okay, so
then she can take up.
All right, so fella, say you're the husband. What would you do?
Yeah, I'll just take it lightly because everybody used to have bad past.
So how would you help the situation?
Okay, fine.
How
you are the man now. You need to know, let the guy know she's now a married man.
Okay, so you have a man-to-man conversation.
She should be a woman to let her husband know. That is the way.
Okay.
Because when she went in hiring lawyers and all those things, and later on the man got to know, maybe it's going to turn out something bad.
All right. Okay, fella. I get you. Thank you. Let's hear from Francis in Yeji. Francis, good morning. Hello, Francis.
Yeah.
Francis, you have to speak up a bit for us.
Yeah. I want to talk to Sylvia. If I were her, she has to engage his husband with his boss and come out boldly with a bold move and explain things before the 2 gentlemen. And that maybe his boss will understand and quit for the relationship. This is what I can say about it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's speak to Kissy in Barcelona. Hello, Kissy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
I think the best the lady can do is to first confess, go to your pastor, confess, and then possible.
Well, why is she confessing? It's not like she cheated on him.
No, it's something you have done. And now that same thing is trying to haunt you. So why don't you tell your pastor? And then, then your pastor would
Kissy?
Yes.
Is it the thing that's hunting her, or it's rather the gentleman who was in the thing with her who is hunting her? Because it's not what she's done.
No,
That's that.
the man is disturbing her.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
So what's the pastor going to do?
The pastor can even invite the man and talk to him. Or the woman can befriend the man's wife and confess to her. And yes, this is it. I was a national service person in your husband's job. And this is what I did. So please, your husband is not chasing me. I've done the wrong thing. But your husband is chasing me. Help me block that.
And you think Kissy should still be employed in that same organization?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your suggestion as well. We've got David. David is in Sandema. Hello, David.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, David. Everything okay with you?
Mr. Rulan.
Good morning. Good morning, David. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Please, if I'm in her shoes, what I would do is that I'll just go straight to my boss, sit with him, and tell him all the facts, the truth.
Oh, Sylvia has done that too.
We had an agreement before I got married. And then we agreed that the relationship was before my marriage. So now that I'm married, I don't think the relationship can go on. So will you allow me, or you want me to talk to people? For instance, maybe we can even take it to a pastor. Maybe the lady can be somebody who attends church, the man too. And he knows some people who will be able to talk to the man, say, oh, now that you are married, if you allow this girl to take this to your wife, and then maybe the husband, there will be a whole lot of confusion. So please, let it be. So I think that she should first confront her boss on the issue and tell him that I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. I'm married. You're also married. And let's forget about the past. And then we'll move on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You make it sound really smooth. I have a feeling that Sylvia has done a lot of talking already. Daniel is in Lataviokoshi. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
Yes, Daniel. If you were her husband, would you like to know what she did in the past?
Please, the question again.
Oh, I'm just asking you, if you're Sylvia's husband in this case, would you like to know?
Okay. If I were to be Sylvia's husband in this case, I would like to know.
Okay.
I would like to know because my current wife, I remember the time I started dating her. I was with her and escort her. And I asked her, she confessed to me that they're recording the man. One, she has to record the man. Two, she shouldn't make her mind that she's taking the job. If the job, the manager is not the sole ownership of the job. It's the organization that the manager too has been employed and he has rise to that rank. And I can give her that offer that I can purport to be the brother of the husband. And I can step in and let the man know that that relationship is not known to the family. We are warning him to back away from the girl, for the girl to have this.
Oh, you're volunteering to be Sylvia's brother?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right,
and
Daniel.
I'll confront the man, and I'll tell you that, look, enough is enough. Now you've got to a point that you have to stop worrying my in-law.
Hey, Daniel.
That's a very nice suggestion. I didn't think about that, but thank you for volunteering.
Charlie, Daniel,
Okay, David will be the last caller. Hello, David. David is in Tamale. Good morning, David.
Tamale.
Yes,
Good
David.
Morning.
Good morning. Everything okay?
Yeah, everything is okay.
Great. Let's hear you.
To me, what I would suggest to the lady is that she should kindly inform the husband and seek for a transfer from that place to a different region.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I think. That way, she will not be near or closer to the so-called MD.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your suggestions as well. This one says, "Dear I am married." Okay. It says, I've been married for 7 years with 3 kids, and I used to date one lady before I got married. And here's the case: we had blood covenant during. during our relationship, or which she forced me to, and now I can't get over her, and I'm scared my wife will get to know. Worried some in Akwatia. Well, not exactly. I mean, kind of related to what we're talking about, but that's not what we're discussing. I don't know if you have one or two to say.
On the blood covenant thing.
Yeah.
I do not.
Does that thing work, though?
If I did one, I'm not sure I would have believed in it. So I'm not superstitious. So if I did one, I'm not sure I would have believed in it. But I think if it's religious, then he should go to his maybe or pray to God. I don't think it would work. But the thing is that there's a physical aspect of what of all this. He really is into the ex. And that's a difficulty. And I think that once he's married, he should concentrate on the wife and see the good things about the wife.
Yeah.
And because it's more, I see this as more of a physical thing than anything.
Okay. So our director is a pastor, right? Fred Potiphar is a pastor. He says we're going to be discussing this next week. So God willing. This is one that we will, because I don't know. I don't know if I believe in it. I don't think I do believe in it.
Blood covenant. Mama, if you know your blood covenant is there, forget. The way you and I, unless I will forget it, Kurasif.
And this one says, so this is AB. AB in Takrady sending this message. AB says, my little advice to Sylvia is she has to own up to her husband and tell her husband all her past. Tell him how it's also affecting her today. But she should first build a great trust and love with her husband and find the right condition to pour out her stuff in, great remorse and regret to the husband. The husband would take things from there. Okay, so I didn't think that would
Yeah, it looks like that seems to be coming up.
Exactly.
I don't know whether it means, and most of these messages are coming from men.
Yeah.
So it means that they could accommodate it.
Lexis from Calio is also singing.
I don't know whether, for me, it's irrelevant whether you move with somebody or not. But generally, having studied men and the way we are, I don't think men take things lightly. Yeah, but one I dream, we go bring them up, man. Man be wicked, oh Allah.
Well, honestly, no, I don't think even if it's like wickedness, but some people simply can't control the emotions. Like they'll be thinking about.
So somebody am a woman.
Even though largely, like you're somebody's ex.
Yeah.
I am somebody's ex. But I think we don't kind of pay attention to that. You marry someone and you think, okay, they don't have a past. But I'm also thinking that what if he's not able to control the information that you've given him, especially because you work in the same office, and he would be just like Auntie Flora said, when you now genuinely say you're doing something, he's now imagining things, and it's just going to. So I mean, for me, I don't know, but I didn't get a lot of people saying she should leave, because that's where I came from the beginning. I still insist that she should find a new job and leave.
The guy is no threat.
Yeah, sometimes I think
it's just they feel their lady.
Do you know why I say that? Because she's now freshly married. She's just like 2 years or something, and issues come up in marriages, in relationships, and you never know. You will be in one of those moods, and he will be the person comforting you.
Fantastic.
The person that you say, I am into my husband, before you know it,
Charlie,
you're back in his arms.
Let's end this.
Let's end it.
Where Mama is taking us to next level.
It's true. It's possible. I know, right? I just said find a new job.
Just in case you want to give us more of your stories, you can do so. info@myjoyonline.com is right there. Just
all right. Before Roland just rushes everything, I want to say thank you for your contributions. We got many people contributing. Obviously, we couldn't read all your messages, but we thank you for your contribution. If you've got anything you want to share with us, just like Sylvia has done, kindly write to info@myjoyonline.com. info@myjoyonline.com. And Sylvia, we've got many suggestions for you. I know that you'll be able to pick up bits and pieces from it, but just in case you need further follow-ups and you need us to get you into contact with Auntie Flora, kindly let us know through the same email. Roland?
Well, that'll be it for now. But next we have to talk about Afrida. They're organizing a musical concert for kids to teach them the role music plays in their upbringing. And we'll be having that conversation up next. Do stay with us.